we are seeing a disproportionate share of cases for COVID-19, and we're really working to help people stay healthy, stay safe, have the resources that they need.
Hi, I'm Julia Fredenberg with KC Town Hall. We also have Pastor Antoine Lee at Central Christian Church and Kansas City City Council member Melissa Robinson with us. We're here to talk about the COVID-19 crisis and what relief options there are for residents and small businesses in Kansas City and how to stay safe right now.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Julie. This meeting is going to serve our community by helping us become informed. And as we all know, we perish because of the lack of knowledge. And so we want to be able to equip people with as much information as they can so that we can weather this coronavirus with the least amount of fatalities and the least amount of people that are infected.
We're going to cover staying safe by staying home and social distancing. Making a plan so you're registered with a hospital, because hospitals prioritize their registered patients first. We're going to cover unemployment benefits, negotiating with your landlord, and knowing that utilities will not be shut off during this time.
This is causing some real life-changing scenarios and situations in people's lives. And if we could do anything to help in that regard, we want to certainly provide the information that's going to help people weather this.
And hello, everyone. Again, I'm Melissa Robinson. I represent the 3rd District in Kansas City, Missouri, which that is about Independence Avenue to about 51st Street or Brush Creek on the south, from about Truce on the west, and then all the way over to the stadiums. And so that's about 70,000 people that live in the 3rd District. And we are seeing right now a disproportionate share of cases for COVID-19. And we're really working to help people stay well, stay healthy, stay safe, and also have the resources that they need in order to continue to preserve health and to continue to have some standard quality of life during this crisis.
Awesome.
So we just had a few questions for you, Councilmember, about relief options in the 3rd District for residents and small businesses and how to stay safe. I guess our first question is, how should people avoid getting sick right now?
Hand washing, social distancing, covering our cough, wearing some sort of cloth or mask when we go out in public. Those are all critical things. We're staying at home as much as we can. We know that that's a privilege because many people have to go to work, and in the 3rd District, we do have a disproportionate share of individuals who are on the front lines and do not have the privilege of being able to stay home. So it is critical for individuals to wear your mask. If you cannot find one of the N95 masks, then utilize a cloth mask, or oftentimes we have scarves in our house, or things like that we have to kind of makeshift some things to help us keep us safe. And so that's very important.
So what would be the plan for a person that lives in the 3rd District and specifically in the proximity of the 3rd District if they do get sick?
The most thing that keeps me up at night is people do not have a plan. If you have a fever of 99 or above, and you have a respiratory issue, a cough, those are the critical signs and symptoms. And so if you're having trouble breathing, you can't be fumbling around trying to figure out, okay, I don't have health insurance. Where am I going to go? Who will see me? You need to have a plan if you become ill. That is really critical. So what does that mean? A lot of the federally qualified health centers, that's Swope Health Services, Samuel Rodgers, KC Cares, those are in the 3rd District, or KC Cares isn't in the 3rd District, but they see a lot of 3rd District patients. Our hospital, that's our FQAC hospital, we have two, Children's Mercy and also Truman Medical Center. They are prioritizing their patients, the people that are already registered. So if you do not have a medical home and you are well, the first thing I would be doing if I didn't have health insurance is establishing care with one of those centers immediately, so that you're already in the system. And if something happens, they can triage you and get you going.
Property in terms of how this is affecting property owners and renters. Now, I do know that a lot of the banks, not every lender, mortgage lender, is doing this, but there have been some major mortgage lenders. I know Wells Fargo is one of them. I believe Bank of America is another one. I need to check. I need to fact check myself on that. But they're suspending mortgage payments for anywhere from 1 to 3 months. Mm-hmm. And so I know there is some mortgage, some relief for mortgage holders.
Is there right now an eviction moratorium? Like, is it possible to be evicted at this time?
Well, the courts are not operating, and so you can't go to court because the courts are closed to have that proceeding happen. But again, some landlords are even sending out notifications saying that we will evict you when this lifts, which is, somewhat cruel. I wanted to give the KC Tenants Hotline those. We were talking about moratoriums on rental assistance. I know my office, we've been helping a lot. Like even this evening, we were helping someone find housing. We've had a lot of calls for individuals who are newly homeless because of this epidemic. But there is a hotline that folks can call. It's 816-533-5435, 533-5435, and that's area code 816. They are committed, they're a grassroots organization, and they're committed to getting back with you within 24 hours. This hotline is really critical because, as we talked about, the courts are closed right now, but you have rights as a renter, and you want to make sure that those rights are being followed. And a lot of times when folks are evicted, it's because they aren't, able to show up in court because you think, okay, this is the landlord. I didn't pay the rent, so I'm going to get evicted. Why show up in court? Well, there's a lot of rights that you have along the way. And so you want to become familiar with those. So when the court does open, you're very aware of what the landlord can and cannot do as it relates to removing you from your home. So I would definitely be spending time learning that. You can look, call that hotline, or look on the KC Tenants website. Is kctenants.org, and they have a lot of information there too.
Mm-hmm. And it seems like if you're not able to pay rent right now, that don't just give up, but try to negotiate with your landlord. Say, this is what I can pay, or I can pay when this crisis is over. Mm-hmm. Because it seems like you do have some negotiation power, because it's going to be really hard for that landlord to find a new tenant right now.
Right. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All of the utilities are not disconnecting services right now. So that's a good thing.
I guess kind of like piggybacking off of that, what would you say are the best resources right now for residents in terms of small businesses and churches, and then just individuals?
Right. So with the CARE stimulus package, they have a section of it called the SBA Paycheck Protection Program. Mm-hmm. And essentially what happens is if you have employees that have been affected by the COVID-19 virus, then you can get 2 months of paycheck protection. And at the amount of 2.5 times what you pay in that 2-month period from, I believe, from February and March. So whatever your payroll was for February and March of 2020, the federal government has allotted $350 billion for small businesses and for non-for-profits to be able to recover the money that you lost if you're going to keep your employees. And that's the thing. The caveat is if you've had to lay some employees off, or if you've had to really struggle with making payroll, then they're going to pay you those dollars back as long as you make a commitment to keep those employees. It starts off as a loan, but once you have demonstrated that you have kept that commitment to keep those employees, then that loan is transformed into a forgivable grant.
I'm like, let's say I want to apply as a small business or a nonprofit or a church. Do I need to go to the federal government, or do I go directly to my bank? Or
you have to go directly to your bank.
I wanted to just touch on for individuals and even for contractors right now, people can be applying for unemployment through the state of Missouri. It seems like your eligibility for unemployment has expanded right now, where traditionally it's if you were given a W-2 by your employer, then you could qualify for unemployment if you were laid off. That it has expanded to include people who are independent contractors, or if you get a 1099, something like that. So that's also, I think, a good option that you can apply for.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah. And then, another thing, I think they've added $600 to the normal, unemployment benefit.
Right. So at minimum, you would get, the very base minimum, you would get at least $600 a week, which could be a big help.
Well, Ms. Robinson, you are a treasure. Thank you for taking yet another call. And we began, folks won't know this when they see this video, but this is late in the evening where you got children waiting on you. And I know what it's like to be pulled on like that. So I just want to just say thank you so much for being so gracious. Thank you for your sacrifice and your dedication for the people in 3rd District. And I just, I'm so appreciative of your time.
Well, thank you so much for this medium and the opportunity to serve. That's what I signed up for. And we are truly in this together. So as individuals have issues, call my office, 513-6413, 513-6413. Call me. We're here to help we're in Holy Week, and I'm just reminded of the resurrection power. So we will rise and we will resurrect from this.
Amen. Amen. You close like a preacher. I'm proud.
Reverend Pastor T. Bland, rescue.
All right, Pastor Bland. All right, Pastor Bland.
Shout out.
All right.